Hi everyone. My name is Maria. I'm 75 years old, and I'm here to talk about something most people my age are too shy to even whisper: intimacy. Desire, and the untold fire that still burns long after the world assumes it's gone. But here's the surprise. It's not gone. It never left. It just changes form. So before we dive into this quiet revolution of love beyond 50, hit subscribe. If you believe passion doesn't expire, it evolves. Let's open the curtain on everything they never taught us, but what our hearts never stopped craving. Let's begin with a question. Do older adults still make love? You bet we do. And it's not a fantasy. It's fact. The New England Journal of Medicine revealed that over half of men and nearly a third of women past 60 are still exploring each other's bodies in beautiful, real, and emotionally rich ways. These aren't just statistics. These are love stories, written in wrinkles, scars, and years of shared breath. At 75, I'm not just reminiscing. I'm living proof. Let me ask you something, honestly. Have you ever stared into the mirror and asked, am I still capable of desire? If so, I want to whisper something into that doubt. Yes, you are, but things change, don't they? Our bodies, the vehicles of our passion, no longer move with the speed they once did. But in that slowness, there's a kind of wisdom, a sacred rhythm. The shift after 50, from urge to connection, for men. Testosterone slowly slips away, like sand through fingers. Strength softens, urges mellow. But in that gentleness, tenderness is born. For women, changes come like whispers in the dark. Vaginal dryness, lower libido, unfamiliar sensations. These aren't endings. They're doorways to rediscovery. The truth, a bottle of lube can be revolutionary. Not because it fixes you, but because it frees you. It invites you to explore touch, not as performance, but as poetry. A gentle stroke along the inner thigh. A soft kiss just above the belly. At this age, our skin is thinner. Yes, but it's also more alive. Every nerve more exposed. Every whisper more sacred. Let me take you to the first night. I realized it. We didn't rush. We didn't chase. We sat in the silence of candlelight and moved like waves on a quiet ocean. That night, his hand rested on my hip, like it was the first time, and I let go of everything I thought love should look like. Because after 50, you don't make love to impress. You make love to connect, and that is more powerful than anything I ever felt in my 20s. Turning limitations into liberation, you might ask, but what if I finish too quickly? Let's speak it aloud. Premature ejaculation. The word itself is like a slap of shame for so many men. But I want to tell you something from the other side of the bed. It's not shameful. It's solvable. It's human. 1/3 of men over 50 face this. But we've found ways through. Together, one of those tools, the stop and squeeze method. It's simple. When climax approaches, pause. Gently squeeze the base of your shaft. Breathe. Hold space for the wave. Don't run from it. Control it. It may feel awkward the first few times. I remember my husband fumbling, a little embarrassed, but we kept laughing and trying, and suddenly things changed. We changed another tool. Kegels. Yes, men can do them too. Contract, hold, release 10 reps 3 times a day. Do it while driving or watching the news. Quiet rituals that build silent power. Within 6 weeks, his stamina improved by 30%. Within 3 months, I saw a man reborn. Not because he lasted longer, but because he reclaimed ownership of his body and that confidence. That is the most erotic thing of all. Reclaiming sensation, the new landscape of touch. Me tell you a secret. After 50, the playground of pleasure moves. It's no longer just about the obvious zones. The neck. The lips, the usual places. No. After 50, magic hides in forgotten places. The lower back, the backs of knees, the side of the waist. A kiss on the stomach can send lightning through the body in ways you never imagined. Try it tonight. Don't go straight for climax. Explore, linger, touch places you've never touched. Trace the spine, caress the hips. Let your fingertips ask questions your mouth never has. The older we grow, the more our bodies want presence, not performance. Let's talk, toys and truth. You know what I used to think, that vibrators were for lonely young women or wild bachelorettes. How wrong I was. At 70, I picked up a small quiet toy, hesitant, almost giggling. But that night, I discovered something I didn't know I was missing. It wasn't about replacing my husband. It was about rekindling the intimacy we thought time had dulled. That tiny tool gave me permission to explore my pleasure without shame, and then bring him into that exploration. It wasn't just the vibration, it was the communication it sparked. That night, I asked him, "Would you try this with me?" He paused, then smiled. "I'm glad you asked." 3 words that changed everything. Because communication is the real aphrodisiac. We began asking each other simple things. Do you like this? How does that feel? What do you want more of? These questions, once taboo, became the rope that pulled us deeper into each other. The shield of safety, protecting intimacy. And now, something no one likes to talk about. Sexually transmitted infections in older adults. We assume this is a young person's problem, but the truth is, chlamydia cases in adults over 50 doubled between 2007 and 2017. We stopped thinking we needed protection, but we do. I handed my husband a condom one night, gently, with a smile. "I know it feels silly," I said, "but I'd rather feel silly than unsafe." He laughed, then nodded. "Better safe than sorry." That became our ritual. A 5-second promise. A silent guardian of trust. Love is not just about feeling good. It's about feeling protected, seen, respected, even now. Every time I sip water before we make love. I remember what CNN said. 73% of women feel more alive and energetic when they stay hydrated. Small details, big difference. There's a reason why the Archives of Sexual Behavior in 2017 named missionary the most preferred position for women over 50. It's not boring, it's intimate. When you're face to face, you don't just feel the body, you feel the soul. You're chest to chest, heartbeat to heartbeat. You move together, like you're telling a story with your hips and your sighs, and it's gentle on the joints. Which, let's be honest, start making their complaints known after 60. I remember the last time my husband and I made love like that. His hands cradling my face, his lips brushing my forehead. It wasn't wild, but it was real. And real is better than fireworks. I'll admit, I was skeptical. My knees aren't what they used to be. My legs tremble when I lean too long. But we found a way. Against a wall, gently supported, he held my waist. I leaned into the warmth of the wall, and together, we discovered that even gravity can become a friend. Standing sex isn't just possible after 50. It's powerful, because it challenges the narrative that old people don't do that. But we do, and we do it well in our own ways. So if you're feeling adventurous, try it. Use the counter, the headboard, a wall. Just be sure to communicate. This isn't about proving anything. It's about awakening parts of your body and spirit that haven't danced in years. People think intimacy begins in the bedroom, but it begins with a sentence. What do you want tonight? What would make you feel good? Can I kiss you here? These aren't just questions, they're keys, unlocking a depth of trust that transforms routine into revelation. You might be afraid to ask, afraid to say the wrong thing, but trust me, the real risk is in saying nothing. One evening, I looked at my husband and said, "I want to try something different tonight." And he paused, surprised but not resistant. He smiled. "Show me." From that night on, curiosity became our compass. So I ask you, When was the last time you asked your partner what they liked? Tonight might be the night. Asterisk, I used to blush, even walking past that aisle in the store. But after menopause, my body whispered things I wasn't ready for. Dryness, less sensation, slower arousal. I felt like my body had left the conversation. Then I discovered something small, a silent, buzzing invitation to return to myself, a toy, tiny, discreet, powerful, not to replace him, but to remind me that pleasure is still mine to claim. That little vibrator wasn't about rebellion. It was about RECONNECTION. And when I brought it into our relationship, tentatively, nervously, I discovered a partner willing to explore with me. That's the magic. It's not about the toy. It's about the trust it creates. Asterisk, let's face it, the truth. STDs don't vanish with age. According to the CDC, infections like chlamydia are rising in older adults, doubling over a decade. Why? Because we stopped thinking we were at risk. But health doesn't retire. So yes, even now, I use protection. And I'm not embarrassed. It's 5 seconds of care that says, I want to love you, and I want to keep you safe. I remember offering my husband a condom for the first time in years. He laughed. I didn't think we'd need this again. I kissed his cheek. We do now. There's a quiet power in preparedness. It's not unsexy. It's deeply loving. You want to know the easiest way to enhance your libido? Drink water. I'm not kidding. Dehydration makes your skin dry, your energy low, and your blood flow slow. But a hydrated body is alive, open, pulsing, responsive. I started drinking 3 extra glasses a day. My skin glowed, my energy returned, and my husband noticed. The smallest habit changed everything. Asterisk.